Nothing says badass like a pair of bloody shins. Beast mode. If my shins are bleeding when I'm deadlifting, I must be doing something right.
Every waking minute, an entire waste of time. The will to forget and leave the world behind. I want to say I've lived 1,000 lives before. That won't fix the price. I paid for many more,
My name's Alan Thrall, and I'm a former shin scraper. One day I was in the airport and I was wearing shorts and some guy comes up to me and he whispers, "Hey bro, nice shins. You do CrossFit?" And I said, "No, I just like lifting weights." And he goes, "Oh, respect for the shins." I can assure you that if your shins are bleeding every time you deadlift, that does not mean you're doing it right. It actually means you're probably doing something wrong. Nobody wants to see your blood on the barbell. Nobody wants to scrape shin chunks off the barbell, just like nobody wants to clean up your piss on the bathroom floor.
every waking minute, an entire waste of time. The will to forget and leave the world behind. I want to say I've lived 1,000 lives before. That won't fix the price. I paid for many more, for many more.
If your shins are bleeding every time you deadlift, you're probably making 1, 2, or 3 of these common mistakes. The first mistake you might be making is that you are pulling the bar back, not up. And I blame this on what I now think is a bad cue, but it's a very common cue that I used to also give myself, and that's to fall back when you deadlift. You should not be falling back and pulling the barbell back when you deadlift. You need to put yourself in a position to where you can pick the barbell up in a straight line. Now, some people will start way over the barbell and they'll rock back into position, but once they're in position, they'll pull the barbell up in a straight line. Do not get that confused with falling back for the entire deadlift. You're picking something up off the ground. This is not a teeter-totter. So the barbell should be pulled up, not back.
Every waking minute, a fucking waste of time. Burning the candle, then you die. The final moments.
The second mistake that you might be making is that you're starting with your hips too low. Dropping your hips forces your knees to go forward. And now the barbell cannot be pulled up in a straight line. It has to scrape up your shins and go around your knees. To fix that, you need to bring your butt up, which will bring your knees back, so that by the time the barbell is near your knees, the angle of your knees is opened enough that the barbell can continue traveling up in a straight line without having to go around your knees and scrape up your shins. The third common mistake that you might be making if your shins bleed every time you deadlift is you are trying to pick your chest up and pull your shoulders behind the barbell too soon. In a correct starting position for the deadlift, your shoulders should be slightly over the barbell, and they should stay over the barbell for the majority of the lift. Do not lift your chest or pull your shoulders behind the barbell immediately off the floor. The barbell should leave the floor as a result of knee extension, not hip extension. Making the mistake of trying to get your back angle more vertical immediately off the floor is going to cause you to pull the bar back in your shins, potentially scraping a layer of skin off and bleeding all over the place. So you need to cue yourself to keep your shoulders over the barbell for a longer period of time. Maintain your back angle for longer. This puts you in a position to pull the barbell up in a straight line, not back. The deadlift can really be rendered down into 2 important key points. The first one being that the barbell has to start over the middle of your foot. You cannot and should not pull a heavy weight over your toes or over your heels for the same reason that you shouldn't squat with the weight on your toes or on your heels. Your weight should be evenly dispersed throughout your full foot. That means the barbell has to be held over the middle of your foot. The second key point is that you need to pull that barbell in a straight line to maintain balance over midfoot. So you need to position yourself or configure your skeleton in a way that allows you to pull the barbell up in a straight line. That's gonna look different for everyone based off your anthropometry as far as hip height and back angle, but everyone can take the same approach when learning how to conventional deadlift. To make sure that you're starting with the barbell over midfoot and you're pulling the barbell up in a straight line, you can follow these 5 steps that I've made in a previous video, but I'll quickly cover here. The first step, place the middle of your foot directly underneath the barbell. This is going to result in the bar being about an inch away from your shins when you're standing up tall. Shins vertical, not knees hyperextended and not knees bent. It's important from here on out for all these subsequent steps that you do not move the barbell. The barbell should stay over midfoot as you set up, and it should leave the floor over midfoot when you pull. Step number 2, bend over and place your hands on the barbell. Don't bend your knees and don't worry about flattening your back. We'll take care of that in a second. Step number 3, you're going to let your shins come forward while you sit your hips down. Once your shins touch the barbell, stop. Don't move the barbell and don't continue dropping your hips. Your hips are now in the correct starting position. While you're down there, push your knees out against your elbows. Step number 4, squeeze your chest up. This is gonna flatten your back. It's also gonna straighten your arms out, and it's gonna allow you to pull some of the slack out of the barbell. It's important on this step that you do not drop your hips while you squeeze your chest up. Think about anchoring your hips in position. Your hips are cemented in position while you squeeze your chest up. Step number 5, you're gonna drag the barbell up your body while you drive your feet through the floor. Leg press the floor away from you. The barbell should stay in contact with your body all the way up, but you are not pulling the barbell back and removing a layer of skin on your shins every time you deadlift. That's it. If you want a more in-depth explanation of the things I talked about in this video, check out the 2 videos that I'll link up at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Until next time, always remember.
Train on time.